Hello, everybody. My name is Diana. I have with me here Michelle. We are both clients of Jon Uhler, and we have been monitoring and watching this controversy that's been going on about Jon Uhler and watched all of his daughter's videos and listened to her interviews and of Jimmy Hinton and everybody. And she and I were talking about how wow, we just totally disagree with that because we have worked with Jon for just hours and hours and hours and hours in session. And he's not a woman hater and he's not all of these things he's accused of. And we wanted to just chat back and forth about our thoughts about Jon and the successes we've had and the rebuttals that we have, whatever, where it's going to free flow. There's no script here. So, hi, Michelle. Good morning. Here we go. So, I guess you want me to start?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm a survivor of SRA and MK Ultra, which is satanic ritual abuse, and MK Ultra. I discovered Jon Uhler, and I started doing sessions with him in April, the beginning of April, and we've been working twice a every week ever since. And I have found my sessions with him invaluable to my healing, absolutely invaluable. When I can't understand something, he can frame it in a different way. So I understand it differently that I shouldn't um, feel responsible or ashamed or that I had done something wrong or it was my fault if I had just been a better, XYZ, whatever. And it's been invaluable. And I can't count how many hours of session time that Jon has given me for free. We have 2 hour sessions twice a week, and we have gone over by 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, just because he didn't have another client. He had the time. He's like, no, go on, let's keep talking. He never asked for money for it. Um, he's interested in what I have to say. He doesn't. I don't know. And there was a time. Well, actually, two times I can think of. I was about to be interviewed by someone who is very prominent and well known in interviews as SRA survivors. And the day before, he called me and says, well, why don't we hop online, do a Zoom, and let's see, work out any nervousness or upset you might have over doing this interview because I was very nervous. The parts inside of me were freaking out. Oh my God, we're going public in front of, this channel had 30,000 subscribers. So he just offered this hour for free the day before the interview, and then and it was really very helpful. And then just 2 weeks ago, I had a bit of a meltdown. I had watched a movie, and it just triggered something, and all of my experiences in a certain area just crashed down on me, and I was just a crying mess. And I was the first time after all these months. Jon had always said, call me. If you need anything, text me, whatever, I'll jump on the phone. And I never really needed to. But on this day, I did. I sent him a text. I didn't hear back from him. So I got on the phone with my friend Michelle here, and we were talking for 15 or 20 minutes. And Jon replied. I assume he was with another client, whatever. And then he jumped on our Zoom and talked with me and Michelle and himself for the next hour. And I was able to pull out of that space. And I'm so grateful. I'm at a loss. He's just got done so much for me. He's helped me understand the Bible in a very easy way. and I've now finished the Old Testament. I'm very excited about that. And, um, I guess and I guess I'll let you talk, Michelle, about what he's done for you, and then maybe after that we could go into how we disagree with Midnight Call and all these crazy people out there. So tell a little bit about your history with John.
Well, I'm also an SRA and MK Ultra survivor um, of most of my life. I escaped just a bit over 5 years ago from lifetime on a compound. um, so in the beginning, I had been looking for someone who could help, and I had completely lost hope. I was pretty despondent in where I was at the time. And someone in a group referred me to Jon, and so I sent him an email, and we were to have a consultation, and then I received in another group um, several messages uh, with these videos of Nicole talking about how awful and narcissistic her dad is. And so um, that, I will say, deterred me for a short amount of time. Um, and that's actually the danger of this that she's doing is she's deterring people from actually getting help. Now after a while, I went ahead and I messaged him again after listening to um, a Zoom teaching between him and another survivor. And so I contacted him after that, and we began to meet. And um, and as far as I guess I have to speak into the he only wants financial gain from people. That's what his motivation and his goal is. Well, I
And
don't believe that can be his motivation or goal because
I
I don't
agree.
make much money. And not only that, but um, what I do pay him could never amount to how much time he's put into me. I've never had the thought that he didn't care about me. In fact, I have quite the opposite.
I
He has
agree.
done he has done many calls with me. I'll send him a text, and if I'm in the middle of something, and I'm starting to go in crisis, and I've asked, hey, can we just pray for me, or and he'll text and say, no, let's get online and let's talk about this. And so
And
let
never
me just
ask for
say,
a penny. Never
no,
ask for
no,
a penny. For me
this
either.
this this week alone, because of a particular trigger, and I won't go there, but um, I had I had my first 2 hour session, which we do 2 hours twice a week. So I had that first 2 hours, and then later that night, he called me back, and we talked for another 2.5 hours. So that was almost 5 hours. And then last night he called checking with me,
He's checking
and
on
and it
you. Yeah.
yes, and he
Yeah.
and we did another 3 hours last night. And he doesn't. I've even offered to pay him, and I have texts of him saying, no, it's okay. I don't know. Just let's, you know. So that is just so far out there. So
Generosity.
far out there.
It's mind-blowing in this day and age with everybody wants a buck, they want their money, their whatever, and all the detractors of John's now, he's after money, he just wants money. No, that's not my experience at all. And yours either, which is part of why we're doing this video. To let people know our personal experience with him, we know that's not true at all. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it's I have actually listened to I've listened to all of Nicole's videos. I've listened to all of this Matt Osborne's videos.
Me too.
And it's all such a disgusting attempt at defaming somebody's character that honestly, all of you should be ashamed of yourselves.
I agree. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
And just talking into Nicole, the video you did where you were talking about how pictures can be manipulated. I'll agree with that. Pictures can be manipulated, but I have watched over 6 hours of home videos where when you say that you never received any birthday or Christmas gifts, you are flat out a liar.
Flat out lying.
Because there are hours of videos where
or that the only gift she got was biblical. A Bible. Lies.
Yeah.
Or lies.
Because I'm pretty sure that there's nothing biblical about receiving a bunny rabbit for your birthday.
What you doing?
What? Get me?
Oh.
Get me. Oh, let's
Should
see
we
what
read
it
it? We're gonna go get one right now. Right now.
A bunny and Miss K.
Hey, Nicole.
What do you want to watch?
Nicole, we gotta go pick
Go
one out right now.
get your coat on. We're gonna go buy one now.
Lane, this bunny. Do you want to see the bunny? And I'll hold it because this how the man taught me.
Nicole, go get your coat on. We're gonna go
This
get
how you,
one.
Go get your coat.
this how you pick it up. You pick it up by the.
Let's go get one.
You pick it by. You pick the bunny out by the skin.
No. Well, let's go. You ready? Come on. Hey, wait. Take your sandals off. Come on.
My bunny, my own bunny. Wait, just let go.
Or those, what was it, the tickets to the comedian with the backstage
Yeah, the backstage dinner and
How is
all
that biblical?
Nicole's 18th birthday.
So it records all audio for it to record that. And then we can extract it on the computer as well.
Should I just look at the tickets? Is there anything else?
Fine.
I should read it?
Okay, we're all waiting. Nicole has decided to open. Open. What could this be? What could this be?
Oh, directions.
Come on, open.
Here, June, scratch them.
Open.
Should I read this?
Come on.
Yeah, or the other one.
Read the other one.
Oh my gosh, I think I know what it is! I saw one word! I knew it! I just saw
Wait, it's even better than that. You gotta read it.
Huh?
You gotta read it.
Oh, I saw you too. When I said that in your face, I was like, okay, I don't know if this is going to be better.
Or maybe Mommy should tell you. You wanna tell her?
We have backstage passes to talk to him in person.
You get to have dinner. With a select few, you get to have dinner with him.
You can have dinner?
Yeah.
Appetizers with, there's 100 people that get to go with him. Thank you so much! Oh my God! I'm so excited!
I bet that's worth a hedge of protection, that bad boy. Little greenery. What do you
Oh my
think?
goodness!
What do you think?
Well, you guys, you knew. We'll have to tell how many times we used those. Oh my goodness. Okay, so April 22nd
That-
till 4 p.m. Okay, so we'll have time.
Nicole,
We
that's
have
the
to
reason.
leave at about. Oh, let's leave at 8 or 9.
That's the reason.
So after the show, is it after the show, Trish?
You get to see
before
the show.
Okay, before the show, you gotta have.
So what? 2 hours before the show, then you go backstage. There's 100 people that get to go backstage and have appetizers, and then it's a question and answer time where you can ask him any questions. Oh, how cool! And you know that I love meeting people. This is the best thing ever!
See?
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be something like this. I was hoping it was going to be Josh Groban or Tim Hawkins. I don't think Josh Groban. And then I was thinking Tim Hawkins would be the only other person. And who had the idea? Daddy? No, God told me. Jay? The perfect thing. Because I kept saying about what I'm going to face. Okay, I don't want to go to what I'm going to face now.
Yeah, that's the reason she can't.
The perfect thing would be for you to do this birthday, and he said.
Or partially.
And then all this, about a day or 2 later, I was sitting in the front room, and all of a sudden I got so sad, and I was starting to cry, and I was like, do we have to videotape this as a memory?
Okay.
How is that?
I'm like flat out lies. And Nicole, you should be ashamed of yourself for this. You should be. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And
We're very passionate about this, if y'all can't tell.
She says that she has both of her brothers behind her, Reed and Lane. And even Reed has put out almost 2 hours worth of videos that.
Hi again. This is Jon Uhler's youngest son coming on again. I've decided to make one last video. I'm going to make it in a few different parts. So I wrote some notes down here, and I'm going to be referencing these just to help me with my thoughts. Number 1, I wanted to come on and make these videos to show that I have a very different view of my dad from what's being put on the internet about him and what he's being accused of, and being portrayed to be this horrible, abusive, and psychopathic father and husband. And there's so many accusations that he would never do. That's not his personality. That's not in his ethics. And I just wanted to clarify what I experienced as his son. I remember during Christmas and birthdays and other certain holidays like Easter, we'd get lots of presents as a family. And we'd get the camcorder out, record people as they were opening their presents.
What day is this?
Christmas Day, 2007.
Oh, so it's a battery.
Christmas Day, 25th.
Christmas 2007.
Another year gone by.
Why? How long have you guys been waiting?
A year and a half. A year and a half hour.
And Mommy and Daddy.
A commercial.
We're up late, as usual. Oh, there's a nice table.
Thanks for doing it.
Nice table. We've got the waffle iron.
Waffle iron.
There's the lady of the house.
Would you wait while I do my work treatment?
Sure.
Don't say that. We'll have bad memories. Say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Good one.
Stockings. Go!
Which one is mine? This
Oh,
one,
I
right?
saw this part. I thought it was
What do we have here?
Dinosaur butt.
What do we have here?
Dinosaur butt.
What is it? Want that one?
Ew.
Oh, cool.
Every type. What is that? Hey.
Wow.
Daddy.
Oh.
Egg on my face.
What did he want?
Daddy said if he wasn't so
Reed,
bad,
look
I would
at
have
this.
started laughing. I was thinking to myself that I must have looked the sight when you came out with everything all in my face. What's it say, Reed?
Nicole, you looked like Lucille Ball. All your face was covered except two little eyes blinking.
Oh, here's the title on the floor. I can clean it.
Christmas 2007.
Oh my! Thank you so much. Oh, we made a mistake. That's for Barry.
Oh.
We better wrap it up.
Thank you so much. Wrap it up.
It's still cute.
Don't let him peek. Don't let him peek.
This can be.
Is that for Barry?
What I was thinking, I forgot to tell Nicole. I forgot to tell Nicole.
Okay.
I forgot to tell.
I don't know if you got anything. Of course I don't. Okay. Oh my, what's this?
Mommy
You got a pedometer!
Mommy told me.
Mommy wanted one!
Mommy
Oh,
told me.
thank you so much!
Mommy told me you wanted one.
Oh, it's just, I was gonna get one for you.
I was searching for the colors.
I didn't know they were so small. I thought they were like these big chunky. This is so nice.
I was searching for the colors.
Thank you so much, Reed. I wanted
searching
one
for
of
the
these.
colors. Sir, what the
Season 8.
They see the
Look.
picture.
Oh, wait, seven?
They see the picture.
Oh no, this is season
Where's
8.
the picture?
Maybe we have 6. Maybe
What's it say on the box, Nicole?
This is season 8.
There it is.
Well, it's gonna take us a while to get to that one, anyways. Oh, this is so cool. Oh,
Whoa! Look at that.
I wonder if I'm getting house code for today or for my birthday. Oh, I love this.
Stylin',
So
stylin'.
good. I told Greedy I thought it was a blanket when she gave it to me, and so I said, she was laughing so hard.
Oh, you are putting it on.
Cool. This is my favorite color.
We should do
Oh, like you wear it in the house.
Wow,
Mommy,
let me check it out.
Wear it in
Since we have school only on like holidays or Saturdays. So.
Very stylish.
Yeah.
Is that a bathrobe?
Season 7! We got season 7 and 8! Oh, little busy bee. Oh, see, I knew she wouldn't forget. More!
It would never, ever be.
Nicole, I was correct.
What are they, Reed?
Cool. What is it? The parade? Which one? Wait, come last side of the thing. A playground. A playground with horses.
Which one is it?
A playground with horses. Look, a playground with.
And as I said, in general, people online have been severely twisting the image and the perception of what my dad was like as a father and father and a husband growing up. And it's just ridiculous, and it's so over the top. And again, I'm proud to call him my dad. Just wanted to clarify, again, from my personal experience, because this is making me angry now, what I'm seeing said about my dad, and he would never do so many of the things that I'm seeing under these accusations, and it's just a horrible misrepresentation of him as a person, as a dad, as a father. So again, I felt it was my ethical responsibility to film this and to show a completely different perspective to what's being shown about my dad. So thank you for listening, and again, I hope this provides a new perspective about my dad as a person.
That he sits there and goes through many different memories of how wonderful of a dad Jon was.
Hey there, this is Reed, and I'm Jon Uhler's son, and I wanted to put together this video just to give my perspective about what's been going on, and mostly just to talk about my own experiences and my memories of what it was like growing up in our household, and wanted to shed some light on my own perspective. So hopefully that will help give a different perspective about what's been going on. And I should mention there has been someone online who's taken one of my videos that I used to use on a different account. So just so you know, that's not my account, and people have taken that and are trying to impersonate me. So what I say in this video, these are my actual thoughts. I'm not going to respond specifically to like the specific accusations, because some of them are just out there.
This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I've seen some of the things and the accusations that people have been saying online. Some of them are just out there. I just wanted to add, I am in complete disagreement with what's being put out there about my dad, and I believe this is happening because he is on the side of good and not evil, and he is making a lot of people accountable. So people are trying to find as much dirt on him as possible. I'm proud of the work he's doing. It's tough work that not a lot of people want to do, exposing abuse. So people are trying to expose him, find dirt on him. So that's my view. And yeah, let's get into it. So I wrote some things down just to help me remember, just to kind of jog my memory and give me some specifics to talk about as a kid, whether it was just good memories in general or specific. I wrote down a lot of stuff to do with my dad just to show how involved he was, especially compared to a lot of dads. I would definitely say he was the most involved dad that I know, and I would strive to be like him as a dad myself. Yeah, I've seen some of the things and the accusations that people have been saying online about my dad, and I wanted to say personally that I am proud to be his son, and he is the most involved dad I've known, and he did put in a lot of effort as a dad, as a husband. He was very faithful, worked extremely hard, and especially working in a prison system. He didn't come home, I don't think I ever saw him drink alcohol. He'd never come home and shout at us or, extend that hate or that negative energy for lack of better terms, from that prison system. Like, I'm sure that was extremely stressful, right? I can't even imagine working in, because he used to work with some of the worst of the worst. He would come home, I'd love to give him a hug, and I remember making his lunches for him. Usually it was peanut butter and honey or peanut butter and jelly, and that was usually like the nighttime before he would go to work there. So some of the items that I had written down just about memories and time that I spent with my dad and how he was involved, very involved as a dad in my life and in our lives as kids. He was very family focused and very hard worker, family involved in the family. And we would go to church on most Sundays, almost every Sunday, and we would have, sometimes we'd have the youth group or Bible studies. So also, you definitely say man of God. God was very important to our family and for us and for him. It was a good childhood, had some very good experiences. So something I wrote down is he built this cement block fort. In terms of, so those were just some examples I wanted to give of what it was like as a kid, because it was a while back. So that's why I wanted to write some of these down, just to remind myself, like, yeah, what was it like as a kid? What were some of the memories I had just in general and specifically with my dad involved? Because, yeah, I've seen some of the things and the accusations that people have been saying online about my dad, and I wanted to say personally that I am proud to be his son, and he is the most involved dad I've known. And he did put in a lot of effort as a dad, as a husband. He was very faithful. He was very family focused and very hard worker, family involved in the family. It was a good childhood, had some very good experience. I would definitely say he was the most involved dad that I know, and I would strive to be like him as a dad myself. I've made this specifically so my dad can share it, and just so you have another perspective there.
December 16th, 2018.
Hey Dad, it's me. Hi, I hope that you and your wife are doing well. Hope you guys are having a really good Sunday. I was just calling because I missed you, and unfortunately I got a really bad case of the 24-hour flu. Like, it's been awful, and so it just feels better to give you a call and say hi, because when you're not feeling well, it feels good to talk to your parents. So I miss you. I was just thinking, like, I remember all the times when I'd be throwing up and you'd always comfort me. So anyway, I love you lots. I love season 2. and I will hopefully talk to you soon. And if you want to, in the next few minutes, feel free to call. And I'm going to be going to bed here soon since I didn't sleep really at all. But I could talk for a little bit, and I know James would like to too. So anyway, love you guys.
And Michelle and I were watching it together, and we're both saying, I wish I had a dad like that. Because our dads abused us on the severest of levels, on the demonic level. And we want John to be our dad. You know? Oh my goodness, Nicole. Shame on you. You make a mockery of us who actually were abused.
That's right.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I agree.
Or the
It's
comment that John hates women. He just hates women. He's a misogynist. He's this, he's that. No. I found he's wanted to do nothing but protect me, empower me, help me come to understandings I would have never come to without him. He encourages me, backs me up, gives me support. I was building a website. He sat online with me for an hour, tutoring me how to build the website because I didn't know where this button was or that button was. If he hated women, there's no way that would have happened. And also, I had a friend of mine who heard about the controversy, got into it, and believed it. And she said to me, she said, I think John's a narcissist and he's dangerous. And I go, dangerous? How is he dangerous? Well, she felt like if he knew what she thought about him now, that he would attack her. And so I said, well, I told John all about our conversation. Let's see if he comes after you. He's not even, hasn't even crossed his mind to address this individual at all. He just said, what he said to me, he said, it's just too bad her discernment isn't better. That was point number one. Dangerous? No, not in any way. Not even to her. Okay. And number two, that he's a narcissist. And I got to thinking about this. John created a chart of the consciousness levels. And I was working with it. We were working together with it. And I'm trying to evaluate different levels of different experiences. And we're going back and forth. And I was trying to put my experience into this mold that was there. Because I'm thinking he's a psychiatrist. You know, he's got the credentials. I don't. But this doesn't make sense. And that it doesn't. And he said, no, Diana, no. He said, you're the one on the field. You're the one experiencing it. He said, take that chart and adjust it. What is your experience? What do you know? What do you feel? And so I did. I sat down, spent, several hours just kind of looking and thinking about my experience with my parts and my memories. And, well, this is this, what he had there is more like here. And so I kind of rearranged it and I showed it to him. And he was like, wow, that explains this and that and this. He's giving me all these psychological terms that are in the DSM, the manual for, what is that? The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Health. He's like, oh, that's where this would fit in. And so we're collaborating. And I got to thinking, if he were a narcissist, because I know some narcissists, a narcissist wouldn't allow you to take their work and change it. Because a narcissist is so in love with their own stuff and they think they know everything that there's no way you could possibly know anything more than they do. And John didn't react that way in any way, shape, or form. He's like, no, you're there on the field. You work it for what works for you. And I did. And I think that but he had the template that allowed my mind to think with it and therefore be able to look at it and go, well, yeah, these categories are right, but I think they're just at the wrong level. And that's all I really did was adjust it from my experience. And there's no way this man's a narcissist. No way. And that's just a superficial example of it. if he were a narcissist and he's having dinner with his family and I call him with a meltdown, I know he's going to answer at the dinner table right there and say, "Excuse me, Susan, I've got a crisis going on," and would handle it. He wouldn't sit there and eat his dinner first. So, I mean, he's answered your calls at what, 2 a.m? Mine was, I think, at 7 or 8, 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. If this man was a narcissist, he would put his own needs before his clients, and he does not. He does not.
Right.
His clients' needs before his own.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And last night
we get very passionate about this.
We were on the phone until I looked up at the time and it was going on 2 o'clock in the morning. And, that's when we finally, hey, we're good now. I'm fine now. But because I was having pretty severe physical symptoms, body memory and stuff like that, he actually, even after we finished talking, stayed connected online through a couple of times of him just asking, "How are you feeling now physically? How are your symptoms?" And he made sure that my symptoms were actually physically improved before he even wanted to hang up.
There's no way
that's
a
not a
narcissist
picture.
would do that.
That's not a picture of a narcissist. And actually, when you were talking about that, I kind of got this, just to piggyback off that a little bit. I'm kind of wondering, Nicole, if Matt Osborne had charts and stuff like this, and you wanted to maybe remake those charts,
right?
Do you think your buddy Matt Osborne would allow you to do that? I don't think so.
No.
I think that the real narcissist is right there with you.
Yeah, I know. When that hit me that day, I was just like, "There's no way a narcissist would ever allow you to do anything with their work. If it was their work at all, they would probably steal it anyway." But yeah, I don't know what more to say. You probably might have some stuff, and then I'll jump in there and talk about that or whatever.
I actually, I think I got out.
Oh, good. Well, here
I pretty
am
much
thinking
wanted
of
to
something. Another part of this attack is on John's career, and they're claiming that his time in the prison, that he didn't spend all those hours there, and he didn't do what he claimed, and he's just puffing himself up into something that he's not. Well, I'm here to tell you, the man knows his stuff about psychopathy. I learned about psychopathy from Alan Watt, talked about Robert Hare and the psychopathy checklist. I've read 2 of Robert Hare's books, and I've listened to John talk about psychopathy, and John takes Robert Hare's information and drilled down on it and made it even better and even more specific, and broadened it into, I can't even count how many directions. He addresses how pornography fits in there, intent, how people work in groups and how they don't work in groups, psychopaths in the spectrum of criminality, pornography, and he charts it out. The man knows his stuff. And I don't know how you could know those things unless you have spent countless hours talking with and working with psychopaths themselves. And the fact that John has that knowledge, when we're in session and I'm talking about something that a psychopath or a perpetrator did to me, John can step back and think, okay, if I'm a perpetrator, what's my motivation here? And he'll throw that out there based on what he learned from the criminals, high-level sexual predators, murderers that he worked with in the prison system and say, well, this is what those predators, this is their point of view and what they're getting after. And as he presents that to me, I can step back in my memory and my experience and go, oh, that makes sense. I thought that I had, X, Y, and Z, and that's why all this was happening. But no, that's not it at all. It's these people, these criminals, these psychopaths, these predators, satanic, twisted individuals put you in a position or a situation to make you believe that. So without Jon's knowledge of that perspective, from all of his study and from getting his training and his certifications and being qualified in the psychopathy checklist and all that, his professional credentials, there's no way he would be able to help me understand what happened to me in certain situations. And for anyone to claim that he's full of shit and didn't do that, I'm going to say that you're full of shit. Excuse my language, but Jon knows his stuff. He's a very smart man. And not just that, it's also his knowledge of the Bible, in that, he can teach you what the Bible says. And because he went to theological school for, I think it was 3 years, got his qualifications or whatever. I can never remember the name of that. But he can also address the things that we get knotted up with as a survivor, that, oh, well, society tells you that you have to forgive and forget and move on. And I agree with that under one condition. And this is what Jon taught me. He said, in the Bible doesn't say you have to forgive evildoers. The Bible says that if someone does you wrong, you have every right to kick them out of your life, and you don't have to forgive them. What that individual is supposed to do is have a conscience, number one, and listen to it, number two, and realize, hey, wow, I've done something wrong. And I need to correct that. I need to get right with God, ask God's forgiveness, repent for my bad deed. You get right with yourself, you get right with God. Then you have to get right with the person that you wronged, your victim. And not only do you make them whole, and I don't mean in terms of you stole $100 for them, so you're going to give them the $100 back. You are required to pay 20% more than what you took. So imagine that in an abusive scenario, not where you've had $100 stolen from you, but you've had your mind split, your body ravaged, you've been in torture. How does a perpetrator make you whole, number one, and then go above and beyond, number two? So, and once a person makes you whole and goes above and beyond, then you can have that choice to forgive them or not. But what I've come to realize is that perpetrators at the level of abuse that Michelle and I and many others have experienced, these people not only don't get right with themselves, they don't get right with God, they never get right with you, because if they did, they'd be in jail for the rest of their lives. So it's okay to not forgive your abuser. You're not required to forgive your abuser. And I guess that'll lead me into the TED Talks. Jon is the one that brought to my attention very early on, probably the first or second session we had, about getting a boxing bag of some sort with a bat. And when I get anxious or want to start crying or become angry at my perpetrator because I've realized or remembered something, to take that bat and beat the snot out of that bag. And in doing so, I imagine that bag, that I have a torso that I use, is my actual abuser, and I get to hit back at that perpetrator and release my rage, release my frustration, release my fear, my anxiety, my despair. And in doing that, you have realizations and understandings that, wow, I'm not the one that should be ashamed or embarrassed or humiliated. That perpetrator should be. That's what those TED Talks do. And without Jon, I would have never thought to do that. Never. I think it's a huge piece of anyone's healing is using this. And Jon brought it to my attention. Now, did he make it up? No. I remember back in the 90s, the whole Esalen move. You know, they used to have people with plastic bats hitting couches and screaming and all that. So it's been in the psychological community for a long time, but they don't use it. Well, Jon does. Jon encourages it. It's a massive, massive part of healing. And without Jon Uhler knowing that, encouraging it, and even when I first started, I didn't know what to say or what to do. And I took the laptop out there and he watched me. He said, say this, and hit it. How dare you? How could you do that to me? He gave me the words to be able to say, because those pieces inside were so terrified they didn't get the opportunity to fight back. But now as an adult in the healing, I get to allow those the people inside with that experience to fight back and to take their sovereignty back and to place the responsibility for all of that back on the perpetrator's shoulders and take it off of mine. That's another thing that Jon Uhler taught me. And it's so important. So for anyone to think that he doesn't care about women or people in general, and he's out for money, and he's a narcissist, and he's dangerous, you're wrong. You are wrong. Sorry. I didn't mean to go on a rant like that, but you're wrong.
I just see every time that he, has these issues with these people. I just see in my mind, I'm looking at one of those pictures on this chart that he shows about the levels of consciousness where
you know exactly where those people are.
There's a picture of the pig and the dog, and I'm like, they're fools. Well, that's where
only reason these people are and the only reason they're attacking him because they themselves are twisted perpetrators, pedophiles in one form or another, or sexually deviant in one form or another, and Jon is exposing you. And you can't have that. Well, tough titty. We're all gonna expose you. So bring it on.
Yeah, it's quite obvious from X and Twitter, that Matt
Osborne,
what he's into. It's disgusting. To even for his own daughter to believe a sexual predator who is into all this trans stuff over her own father.
I know, I'm like, who loves her beyond measure.
I hope she doesn't ever need anything from her father now, because her father has every right to just completely, I'm done.
Cut her off, and he doesn't.
Cut her off. And it's going to be your loss one of these days.
Well, it already is. I mean, Jon took the time to film the voicemails from Nicole to him over the course of a couple of years or 5 years or something. She would call her dad once every week or two and have a 4-minute voicemail telling him about her day, and they want to buy a house, and if he could help her figure out how to buy a house, or they're so excited because she's going to start her own business, and she's done this and that.
January 14th, 2019.
Hey, Dad, it's me. Just calling to say hi, and I wanted to see if you had some information on buying a home. James and I are pretty decided, the two of us, that we really do want to buy our own home. Nothing to live in the next 15 years, but possibly the next 7. So something for like the short term. But we've been looking around. We've been really doing our research. I'm proud of us. We've already gone apartment hunting. We've already gotten a list of different places, but we really aren't liking the apartment idea. We don't like the idea of throwing money away every month. And we did that growing up, and so I know how that is. So I'm kind of like, I really want to own our own place, something small and cheap. Like, not clue one about what I'm supposed to do. So it would be really, really helpful to get your feedback about, how to go about doing that. I know we would obviously go through a bank. So any tips you have? I remember that you and Mom, when I was about 6, you guys saved up money, and unfortunately, you guys didn't get to buy a house. But I do remember that. So I know you guys had some experience looking into that. So let me know. I love you. I'm going to be home the rest of the day. I just got off work. So let me know whenever you're able to talk. And I'm climbing in bed around 4 p.m. your time. So as long as it's before 4, that's fine. If you can't talk today, that's fine too. So if you want to call me another day, that's good. All right. Love you, Dad. Bye.
You know that they had a relationship that was productive and loving, and she relied on him for his advice as an adult, not just as a child, as an adult. And for her to deny, every time John, I look at John and I just think how heartbreaking for him to know that he had this daughter that he adored and loved. And videotaped as much as he could, not so he could have evidence against you 20 years later, but because he loved you and he wanted to watch these things and love you as a little girl again, or listen to your voicemails 5 years after the fact and say, that's my girl.
January 17th, 2019.
Hey, Dad, it's your daughter. I am calling just to say hi and talk. I don't know if Stephen and I'll feel up for talking, but I am tackling my mound of laundry, and I would love to talk. So give me a call if you want. I'll probably be climbing in bed in the next hour and a half, so if it hits that time, we can always talk tomorrow if you feel like it. This weekend, I know that we're going to be looking for houses and stuff, so it will be a busy weekend. So if tomorrow works too, then that'd be awesome. But I know you guys have a life, you guys have stuff you're doing, so that's fine. If it's not the best time this week, we can always do next week. All right, I love you lots. Tell Susan I say hi and I love her. I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.
He loves you beyond measure. And for you to break his heart in this way, it makes you just as much of a psychopath as the people you're rubbing elbows with. You're disgusting. I'm sorry. There's no way that Jon Uhler is the man you and Matt Osborne are portraying. You're liars. And Jimmy Hinton, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The supposed man of God preacher.
Right. Well, he exposed his father as a pedophile, so that gives him legitimacy, doesn't it? Well, Jimmy Hinton, are you doing the same thing? And you got a nice mask on? Because what is a pastor doing rubbing elbows with the LGBTQ community at all? What does the Bible say about that? They are abominations, and you're rubbing elbows. You're not just rubbing elbows. You're putting your arm around them and contributing to their lies. Shame on you. Shame on you. God will pay you back for this. And the fact that you have the ability and inclination and the gusto for it means you're at a high predator level and makes me think that you're abusing children too. Because once you get to that level, you're doing something sexually deviant.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. I don't think Jimmy Hinton's all that at all. Wow, I'm sorry. You can see that we've got some passion going on here about this. Like, no, and we would be deficient as Christians to not speak up. All of you people out there that have known Jon Uhler, you know his personality, you know he's a good man, and you're not backing him up, God will remember that. We are called to not bear false witness. And if someone is bearing false witness, it's our responsibility to speak up and say, no, that's a lie. And so that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, you can see I'm fired up. It angers me. It brings up every abuse that I ever had from a predator that attacked me as a child, all the way up to adulthood, all the way up to 38 years old. And God bless Michelle, hers is a lot longer than mine. We know what predators look like. We know what they sound like. We know what they feel like. We know how they behave. And Jon Uhler is not that. He's the opposite. He's a godly man. His only purpose in life is to help people, to help heal victims of predators, and to stop predators from committing again. The fact that he's been attacked over his license that would help sexual predators, watch his interviews with the convicts, ex-convicts, who have been helped by Jon Uhler and are not going to wind up back in prison because Jon Uhler helped them. Realize, no, you've had some trauma somewhere. Let's work that out. And now they don't want to be a criminal anymore. There should be 1,000, there should be 1,000,000 Jon Uhlers in every prison across the world so that people stop going back into prison because they don't get healed. Jon knows how to do that, and he's being attacked. He can't do his, what do you call that? Sexual predator classes anymore, where he does groups of sexual predators and helps them realize where they're at and come to understandings, and they actually heal and change, and they're not criminals anymore. They don't want to be criminals anymore. They want to be godly because of Jon Uhler. I'm disgusted with all of it. All of it. So here we are. Sorry. Do you have a bug up your butt about you want to go on about?
All of the above.
Yeah,
Ditto.
It's just blowing my mind that even a very dear friend of mine who had nothing but my best interests in heart was so convinced by all of this. It caused a rift in our friendship. And I'm so bothered by that, because if you crazy people out there hadn't done that, our friendship wouldn't have this bump in the road. And I'm really bothered by that. So I hope that she will watch this and her opinion will change. So anyway, trying to think, is there anything else? Just I guess I want to say thank you, Jon, for the help you've given me, the strength you've helped me to realize that I have within. You haven't given it to me. You've helped me realize it's already there and are showing me how to realize it by letting go of the yucky stuff and peeling away all the ugly, awful, terrible. My true, empowered, creative, confident self is now emerging. I'm not scared to be on camera. I'm not, okay, I'll make a website. 2 years ago, I would have never even attempted it. Now I've created it and it's a piece of cake. The transformation that has gone in my life in 1 year is mind-blowing. And Michelle, you're at what, 2, 3, 4 months with Jon?
Started in November. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 months. Oh,
So
you
it's been
noticed?
that, and I will say this, that over the past 5 years that I left the compound a little over 5 years ago, um, that I have tried to get help from other people, and I have been slammed down at the same time by other people who were supposed to be helping. But when I think about where I am right now and where I was 4 months ago, it's not the same. And and I and it's just because Jon has taken the time and made the effort and encouraged me and helped me. This is not, you know, this is not something that a narcissist is going to do. My father was a narcissist. This is not anything that a narcissist would do.
Yeah.
So
he has a genuine heart. He has a heart of God. I listened to another interview of his, Carolyn, the woman that he worked with, and she said it. When she said it, I was like, yeah, he has the heart of a pastor, and he practices counseling. I mean, he is a man after God's heart, truly, more than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. No, he's not a narcissist.
Same.
So I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No.
Again.
Same.
Yeah, he brings out the best in a person by showing you how to remove your doubt, your fear, all of the things that hold you back. He shows you how to push it, not just push it out of the way, but dissipate it. You weren't responsible for this. You were coerced, lied to, suggested into, tortured, sexually abused into believing you were stupid, into believing you couldn't do it, and when you realize that, it dissipates. And your true self can emerge, the self that God created, that image of God, the self-confident, powerful, energetic, creative, beautiful soul. And Jon Uhler helps you get there. So I got goosebumps right now. It's like, this is a commercial for Jon Uhler. Sorry. So, I think that's all I have. How about you?
Yeah, I usually can get out what I want to say in a few minutes, and I feel like
I can just
I
go
feel like
on.
I already called a spade, and I'm done. There's no question with how I feel about Matt Osborne and Nicole and
And for all of you out there who are LGBTQ and thinking that, we've been paid off or something, you're fooling yourself. There's a something in you that has caused you to become where you are, and you're not willing to address it and heal yourself. All you want to do is lash out, and you've probably crossed over into the deviance area, and you're not coming back anyway. So we're not preaching to you. We're letting everyone else know, SRA survivors, people who need a good counselor, criminals who need someone that can truly help them not wind up back in prison. That's who we're talking to, people that Jon can help. So if you have any questions and you'd like to contact me personally, my email is out there. Well, it didn't say my anyway, y'all probably figure out who I am. So, if you want to be nasty, you'll be blocked. Plain and simple. So Excuse me.
Yeah, I have found out where that block button is, and I know
You
how
know,
to employ it.
and not only that, people, if you want to be nasty, we know what it's like to face down demons. Do you? So bring it on. We got Jesus on our side. So we're not worried. Anyway,
Yeah, I think
in Jesus'
it's good
name.
that 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 letting other survivors know that you can have hope, you can have what we have,
Oh my
and John
goodness.
will help you, and he can help you,
And he does it with such
and
compassion
it,
and so simply.
yeah,
And he does it at your pace.
yeah,
It's remarkable. He's been blessed. This is his calling and he's fulfilling it. And he
yeah.
refuses to allow predators a pass. And he's not giving you people a pass. So anyway,
Mhm.
should we end off?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. And have a great day. Say in Jesus' name, amen. All
Amen.
right. Goodbye.
Bye.